some super easy empanadas de camote. They're delicious, super sweet, and perfect for the holidays. Let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I'm doing is preheating my oven at 350 degrees, and next thing I'm going to do is peel my sweet potatoes, which is basically what camote is. What I did is I threw some water and a stick of cinnamon and I boiled like I would a regular potato. Now they're nice and soft. We're going to peel it and get it ready to make our stuffing for our empanadas. Now I usually make this in a pot, but for the purpose of showing you guys how it's done, I'm going to make it in my pan. And it's already on medium heat, and I have my camotes, which are sweet potatoes. I'm going to throw them in here with my squasher. Yes, that is what I call it. I'm going to mash them up. A lot of people add some milk, but the reason that I don't add milk is because I want them to be thick. If they're not thick, it's gonna run out of the empanada, and you don't want that. You want the mixture to be nice and thick so it stays in there and it doesn't come out. Now that it's all mixed together, I'm going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. You can always add less, but I like mine to be on the sweeter side, which is why I add this much. You can add regular sugar too, it's just up to you. Just whenever I'm making pastries, I love to use brown sugar because I feel like you use less and it catches more. So that's why you're going to mix it in here together. We're also going to add 1 teaspoon of nutmeg and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now that our camote is all mashed up and all of our spices already combined, that's all you really need to do. It doesn't even need to get hot because you are going to put it in the oven, so it's going to finish cooking in there. You just need to really make sure that it's all mixed in. So this is where the fun part starts. I got my pie crust, I took it out. I'm going to extend it. Now you guys, this is a clean surface. I already disinfected it. Please do not worry about my surface. It's clean, I promise. I am not eating anything dirty. So the pie crust is naturally a little bit thick, and we don't want the empanadas to be so thick, so I got my palote and I'm going to extend it. You don't want it to be paper thin, but you do want it to be a little bit thinner. I have my handy dandy baking sheet that I'm going to spray with some pan. And this is the baking one that has a little bit of flour. I'm running out. Place it in there. Now that my pie crust is all rolled out, I'm gonna get my cookie cutter. I don't know if I should do a circle or if I should do a little star for the Christmas tree or maybe even some flour. I think I'm gonna go with the star. So you just cut it out. You get your little star or whatever shape. Make sure that it's big enough to where you could put some of this in the middle. Like this. Put another star on top. Stick it together. You get your fork and you just make sure that you seal it. And this is the end result. Perfect. It has its filling inside, it's nice and fluffy, and the edges are all sealed up. You repeat that step with however many you want to make. Usually to make all of these, I get 2 sets of pie crust, which is 4 of them, and this is usually the perfect amount. They're not huge empanadas, they're kind of bite-sized, so I really like these. If you don't want to use a mold to make them, you can always just roll out the dough and then cut it out in circles and make them like a regular empanada, just fold them. But it's up to you guys. I really like the fun shapes, so this is why I do the cookie cutters. Alright, so I set my star shaped on one aside for a second because with the leftover dough, I'm going to teach you guys how to make it the usual way where you fold the empanadas. So I have my dough and I'm going to cut it into a little ball. Make sure that it's like a ball, and then extend it with my palote. Now, as you guys can see, it's not perfectly round, but this will do because since it's long, I'm going to put some of the mixture in here and then just fold it over. And that's what it looks like. So I've already divided my dough into balls like this, which is what I'm going to do to make them the traditional way. And I'm gonna teach you guys how to do this again because, you know, you wanna show up into the holiday party and you wanna be like, oh, I made empanadas from scratch, they're delicious, and your suegra's gonna believe you and she's gonna love you. So you want to impress your suegra. So what you're gonna do is you're going to get the little ball, and it's very important that you keep turning it. I would see my mom and my grandma kind of just turning it, and I was like, that's wild, that's not really necessary. But it is in order to make it super round. So I do once and I turn it, and I do another one and I turn it, and that way so they're not all lopsided, because before mine would look like little triangles or rectangles and they weren't really appealing. They were delicious, but they weren't really pretty. But this way they're delicious and pretty, especially if you want to impress la suegra, you know. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn it, and they're round-ish. I mean, they're not perfect, but when you fold them, you can't really tell. So this is what they look like, and that's what you keep doing with all of them. Whenever putting the filling in, you want to put it kind of in the middle, not too far to the edge, because if not, you're not going to be able to close it without the filling inside spilling. You turn it over, and then you start closing it shut like this, sticking it together. The dough is very manageable, so it's great. And then you just finish sealing it with the fork. Now that we're done with our first batch of empanadas, what I'm going to do is I have an egg here, and I'm going to whisk it. And with the same fork, I'm going to poke a hole in the middle of the empanadas like this. And the reason we do that is because we need the empanadas to breathe. We do that, and then we get some egg wash, and you just put it on top of your empanadas. This gives them a little extra crispy at the top, and they kind of look glazed at the end. Now they're going in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes at 350 degrees, and sometimes the ovens are kind of different temperatures, sometimes work better than the others. So you have to keep checking on them, make sure that they are golden brown. Sometimes you even have to get your spatula and check them in the bottom, because there's times that the top really cooks and the bottom is overcooked, really burnt. So make sure that you have the oven in the medium. I know you could move the settings and have it at the very top, and then the medium, and then the very lower one. Keep it in the middle one so it cooks thoroughly and evenly. It's been exactly 25 minutes, and I know they're already ready because they have that golden brown color. And while they're still hot, I am going to put them in some cinnamon sugar. I like to make my own. I know they sell some cinnamon sugar already made, but I just got some sugar and added some cinnamon in it. And this is what it looks like. They smell delicious. They look even better. I already have the second batch in the oven. I made the second batch a little bit smaller just so I would have a little bit more, and I could give some to my friends and family. But yes, they're so flaky and they're so good, especially they're so easy. I know you guys are going to love them, and I know some people are going to be like, those are not empanadas, they're mini pies. And I like to call them empanadas because they're empanada shape and they taste like empanadas. Yeah, they're delicious. You guys should give them a try. And like I said, if you take these to the Christmas party, your suegra's gonna love you, your family's gonna love you, they're gonna want more, and you're gonna tell them, yeah, I made them from scratch. But if you don't tell them that, tell them, you know what, I follow this girl on YouTube and you should check out her videos. That's how I got the recipe. I also have other recipes on how to make empanadas de cajeta and empanadas de piña. So later down the line, I'll show you guys all of those. But for now, Camote is going to do, they're actually my favorite because they're easy to make. Alright, Sizzlers, so as you can see, I've made a whole bunch of empanadas in less than an hour. It's super easy, and most importantly, they're delicious. I really urge you guys to try. If y'all want to see anything in particular on my YouTube, please leave it in the comments down below. But as of now, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Until next time.